Yes. So now, till now we discussed about Python, but why pandas and NumPy only? Data handling, computations. These are the most important thing in your developer or IT role, data analysis role, or whatever role you are in, where you are supposed to build a solution. You are going to deal with data and you are going to deal with computations, and both of these things are very well managed in pandas and NumPy. Okay, and they can handle virtually all kinds of data, all, nearly all. Okay, next. So pandas fast in memory processing of data. It's just like you can visualize a panda, if you know this animal panda. So you can visualize panda, eats so many stuff at a time. Like that, this pandas library can eat data so fast, and it has a very ease, like it gives ease of smart shorthands. Okay, in many uh, many functions like group by, or plotting things, or any kind of processing. The trademark of Python or these libraries is, if you want to process, the major advantage of Python or pandas or NumPy is they are vectorized languages. So there is a rare use of for loops and rare use of loops. Whatever you want to do, you can just express it. Suppose you want to have a table summarized, you want to find all those rows, where the value is less than 10. You just write one single line, and that's all. It processes the complete table. So these shorthands, they are very powerful, and they make your programming so easy, in the sense of, logically it's very easy to interpret that, okay, I'm selecting all those rows which are less than 10, rather than writing complex loops and loop over loop. And it becomes so complicated to understand. And when you switch between people, in IT, this is one thing that, okay, people roles keep on changing. So when new person comes and sits in front of the same script, then what happens is, you know he has to understand. So this kind of understanding is very easy. The learning curve is very, like easy. It's very short. Then manipulation of tables in pandas is, we will learn in the, we will have, after this we'll have a workshop in details. We'll learn about pandas, and we'll see any kind of manipulation in table. You want anything to be done with the table. You want to select rows, or you want to select columns, or you want to select particular cell. You want to check if it is empty or not, if you want to check whether there is a string or not, or like any kind of manipulation. And there is a solution in pandas. One line, very simple and very elegant solutions. Okay, shorthands and elegant solutions. And for those guys, for those programmers who are SQL guys, because see, here we are talking about data tables. So many people may come up from a background where they are, habituated to writing structured query languages, SQL syntaxes and all that. Okay, so now, uh, and then and then see here, uh, this pandas, it can accommodate that syntax as well. So even a SQL guy who has, like, maybe for 10 years he's working on SQL, very quickly can shift into pandas. Okay, then plotting visualization. Yes, there are better libraries like matplotlib or seaborn, and yes, but pandas, what they give is, it's like, you know uh, they give you freedom to quickly visualize things, okay, then and there. Where you're, suppose you are dealing with the data, immediately you can visualize it with shorthands. Obviously pandas is not the best library for all kinds of visualization, but these are like running visualizations when you're dealing with your data. And in between you want to just have a quick visualization. That time pandas comes to rescue you. But there are many different libraries like you see matplotlib or seaborn, and there are many other libraries which are expertise in visualization. So obviously they are extra. These pandas is just giving you some shorthands for quick visualizations. Okay, any questions?
There was one question earlier which we'll cover now. So, which module? So this is a little personal. Which module can someone work on to become a data science expert? And also, if PhD projects can be done in Python, and they also want to understand what is the relativity between data mining and data science.
Oh, okay. Yeah, about PhD. Yeah, uh, this is a very, like a hazy question. You have to deal with your guides, and you have to deal with so many people and then figure it out. What I would suggest is, if you're in development of your PhD project, no issues. If Python, my personal project was in Python, so no issues as such. But don't like don't stick to technology in PhD because it's research. Technology for new research, you may have to change the technology. For mining and data science, see, data mining was a starting point of data science, where they understood that data can lead to some extract to some very good like kind of things. Okay, suppose if I analyze data of customers in a shop, then I can predict what kind of products I should keep. So something like this happened in data mining, but data science is much richer a version of data mining. Okay, that's the correlation between data science and data mining. And in data science, you can come across machine learning, you can come across IoT, you can come across automation and all those kind of things, and data visualizations and data analysis and predictions and all that. In data mining, it was just finding out patterns and all that. Okay, then one more thing is the what kind of libraries you should use for data science. I would say there are lots of libraries, but pandas and numpy are one of the major libraries to start with. Okay, there are many others, based on your niche, based on your which domain you are into, and what kind of problem statements you are dealing with, what kind of project you are dealing with, the libraries may differ. But the background, NumPy and Pandas will be there. Okay, even if you go there is a lot of buzz about neural networks today, and there is a TensorFlow and all that kind of libraries. But see, behind TensorFlow, if you see go into the code, they are using NumPy. Okay, so that's why these two are the major building blocks. If we understand this, then there are lots and lots of things which you can address. Okay, yes. Next, please. Yep. So let's go in a bit details about pandas. That is, see, as I told you that it can handle any kind of tabular data. When I say tabular data means columns need separate attention here. It's not a simple matrix. Okay. A table means every column has a separate meaning or a separate variable, and it has some kind of pattern, separate pattern. Like I'll just give a quick example. Like suppose there is a data about all kinds of teams. Okay, cricket teams. So they have average runs scored, what is the batting performance, what is the bowling performance, how many wins, how many loses, and what are the different things like this. So there are different columns, so each column has a different sense from it. But if we check image data, so in image, even if there are different columns, but the complete matrix or the complete thing makes sense. There is no separate importance to columns. Okay, so that's where the line, a thin line between pandas and numpy. So many of you may say that, okay, numpy also has a matrix, and python also deals with the table, and table is a matrix, so why we cannot have numpy? Because in numpy you cannot give separate importance to each column. It will treat the complete matrix as a single entity. In pandas, it deals with something known as data frames, where each column can be treated separately if you want. Okay, that's the power of pandas, different to numpy. Okay, then files type supported CSVs, excels, urls. Directly you can give url and read on the go. Okay, so if you are building some kind of cloud or some these kind of solutions, this is very handy thing. Then JSON files, all the time, all web guys, they keep on telling me, we deal with JSON files and all that, and is there any solution to it? Yes, pandas is solution to it. It can handle JSON files, then HTML files, clipboard, pickling. If you have pickled some data and you want to unpickle it and then put it into pandas, that is possible. HDF5, so if you are dealing with Hadoop or big data tools, there also pandas comes in picture. They that even if it is a big data table, pandas is able to handle that. Okay, any SQL table directly, as I said, your SQL queries can be directly converted into pandas syntaxes, and pandas gives directly things where you can have SQL built in. Then SAS or SPSS, even if there are third party tools like this, data is coming from there, you can handle that directly in pandas. So this gives pandas a very big advantage over many other libraries which are dealing with similar kind of data. And so when you learn pandas, any role, so just think about JSON will be dealt by some kind of web developer, or HTML pages web developers will deal with. CSV files, these research guys or these data scientists, they will deal with CSV files. Big data people will deal with HDF5 or big data tools or those kind of libraries, or these backend guys, they will deal with SQL. If you're stats person, you will deal with SAS or SPSS data, and all these can be handled very easily, seamlessly in pandas. So if you learn pandas, all these things can be handled. Okay, and all these roles